Hey, we're live! Lots of live streams today. I just finished with the Tailosive gaming live stream with my friend Wyatt Whitesea, and now gonna keep live streaming for the tech. Oh God, shut up, Drew. Forgot to mute the MacBook. I always forget that. All right. How is everyone doing this evening for me? Maybe it's the morning for you. How are we all doing? Okay, you good? You can't see my knees, but you can see my face. That's what's important. Here in London, it's 7:42, 8:45 here, 2:41 here. Look at all the different time zones. This is perfect. This is exactly what I want to do when I am doing the late night tech streams, because it's very tiring for me. It's been a very long day working kind of end to end, working on the gaming channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to Tailosive Gaming. It's working on the main channel, working on the Talks channel, working on the tech channel. Very full day, packed day for sure. California time here, oh man, Scott, jeez. In Hong Kong, it's 2:43. Well, that's cool. It's Tailosive Live. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Hank Hill, I'll remind you. Hank Hill has been a different moderator for a long time, but he's switching accounts now. So, anyway, Hank Hill is now moderator. Okay, say hi to Czech Republic. Hello, Czech Republic. Look at all these different people in here. In Belfast, it's 7:43 a.m. It's amazing. I'm talking all over the world. It's impressive. So I'm very excited to answer as many questions as I can. Keep in mind that questions I definitely will answer are the super chats. If you don't know how to super chat, you can't use the YouTube mobile app if you're on iOS. You just got to use Safari. Just have to find the live stream on a browser. If you're on a desktop, it should be built in. Works great. I can answer those. Belfast is nice, huh? I've never been there. I haven't been to a lot of places. Say hi to Dubai. Wow, I've never been there. Did you see Everything Apple Pro's video? Which one? I watched most of his stuff, so I probably did see it. I love your content, man. You're the reason I got a maxed out MacBook Pro 13. I love it so much. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's the important thing, as long as you can get a product that you enjoy. Okay, Scott Sullivan asks, will you get stainless steel or aluminum for next Apple Watch 3? I don't think I'll be able to afford the stainless steel version, because I'm reading reports that the LTE version of the watch, which is the one I want, might cost, and almost definitely will cost more than the standard version. So I'm already going to be paying a bit more than usual for the watch I want, but I'm anticipating if that costs a lot. The stainless steel LTE one will probably cost a lot too. So I'll probably just get the regular aluminum one that's silver. I want to make the switch to silver this year, just to kind of mix it up, because space gray is not an ecosystem anymore. You can't find space gray across everything anyway, so I just think the silver one contrasts nicely, so I'm excited to make the switch. That brute forcing the iPhone 7 video? Yes, that's me. What do you think of iPhone 8 design? I personally like it. I've been messing with it right here. It's kind of a nice form factor. The camera, I like the camera looks. It's pretty good design. I enjoy it. Any other questions? I used to be in space gray too. Yeah, you can't do it anymore, because there's not going to be a space gray iPhone 8, and there's not going to be a space gray, well, there's a space gray Apple Watch, but it's kind of a different shade than the iPad and MacBook and anything. But I'm kind of just looking at it as like the MacBook Pro and the iPad Pro and the iMac Pro. All the Pro devices will have space gray, but the minor devices in my pocket, those can be different colors. I like jet black. Jet black looks good. Apple TV set rumor thoughts? Yeah, I saw that picture. There was someone who leaked something. Like, they tweeted a photo and it looked like an Apple branded TV set, but it also looked very blurry and also very gimmicky. So it's very well possible that wasn't real at all. I've also been reading that Apple will let their employees work on fake projects to develop trust and to see what they leak and what gets out. So that's totally possible too. It didn't really look like a legit TV. It kind of looked like something someone slapped together. So I don't think it will happen. How much sleep do you get? Not that much, honestly, and especially not on Thursday nights, because I stay up late to talk to people of all the different demographics. Any thoughts on the upcoming Apple Watch Series 3? I'm getting one. I'm excited for it. I hope it's worth it. There'll probably be a video soon, not tomorrow or today for a lot of you, but because for me, tomorrow's video is going to be Refried Friday. But I'm thinking of other uses the LTE-supported Apple Watch could have, and I've been thinking of advantages that helps with, so I'm expanding on that and probably make a video about it later. Do you see the device that can brute force an iPhone 7? No, I did not. Oh, that... Okay, yeah. I didn't watch the video yet because I was live streaming on Tailosive Gaming, but I did see the thumbnail that you could, like, brute force unlock an iPhone, I guess. What do you think about app subscriptions, like Adobe apps? I use them. I've been subscribed to the Adobe Creative Cloud membership for 5 years now. It's been a long time, maybe 4. I don't remember when I exactly signed up, but I use Adobe Premiere every week. I use After Effects every day, and I use Photoshop occasionally, but I definitely need that ecosystem of apps. The A11 chip is going to be the beast of the processor of the year? Yes, Stefano, definitely. A11 is rumored to have almost a 3 gigahertz core in it, which would be insane. So if that happens, that'll be crazy. And iPhone 7 is already fastest phone to date. It's almost a year old now. So yeah, A11 chip's gonna blow everyone out of the water easily. Any thoughts on iOS 11? I love it. I like the design. I just wish the bugs would go away. But that's what happens when you're a beta. You just gotta submit all the problems. You gotta let Apple know all the issues that you're having with it. I'm having occasionally a lot with mine, but I'll figure it out. Play Minecraft? Well, you should have joined for Tailosive Gaming, because we did play Minecraft with the game controller and everything. We're filling up this Apple TV with apps because we got that one question about filling up more of my Apple TV with apps, and we're playing all of them over on Tailosive Gaming, which will be live hopefully every Monday and Thursday. So I just did that gaming stream before I came over here. And we're less than 40 subscribers away from hitting 1,000. Let's get it to 1,000. Drew, for the movie channel intro, what do I put for the text right now? I have Tailosive Movies. What did you do for the logo? I thought you did something clever. You did like a... For those who don't know, Sketch is designing next year's logos for my channel. He does great work. If you do just the regular T, and then instead of putting Tailosive beneath it, just put movie, and then the subtext to movie is reviews. I thought that would look cool. Are you getting the iMac Pro? I'm not going to guarantee it. I'm going to try to, but guys, you got to admit the iMac Pro is a lot of money, and it's almost unreasonable to ask a channel that is my size to try to buy that outright. It's going to be very difficult to, but I can promise you I'm saving money. I'm not spending a lot on things that don't matter. Every dollar I spend is spent precisely, and I try not to spend more money than I have, and I'm trying to put as much money as I can aside so that I can afford the iMac Pro. But again, it all depends on the Super Chat donations, the Patreon, and the overall success of the YouTube network. So you guys are ultimately the final decision of will I review the iMac Pro. I really would like to. And if I do get it, by the way, I would get the cheapest possible one. I would not get any maxed out version at all. For Project Photon, I have no new updates on Project Photon other than I'm working on it weekly. Every single week there is more filming going on, and I'm still working on it. I don't have a deadline yet. I'm just working on it as is convenient. But when the time does come for me to unveil what Project Photon is and when it's coming out, you will know about it. I'm going to give tons of teasers and updates about when it's going to be revealed and where you can watch it be revealed and all that. Does Project Photon have to do with solar panels? No. For those who don't know, Project Photon is not a tech channel thing. Project Photon is over on the main channel, just called Tailosive with the black T. Subscribe to that if you want to find out what it is. All the Project Photon content will be uploaded there. And there's comedy sketches on there every Saturday, which they're also before filming. Before live streaming, the gaming live stream, we filmed the Saturday short for this Saturday. So I've been very busy. iMac Pro base model will cost $5,000. And yes, everything Apple Pro, MKBHD, Tech Racks, Unbox Therapy, they're all going to get the maxed out version. They can afford that. They're going to get the highest configuration possible. What color are you planning to get for the HomePod? I still can't decide. I think maybe when they announce when the HomePod will be available, I'll do like a Twitter poll and see what my fans want me to get. Because they both look good. And the white HomePod would match my accessories, but I also like to get the dark standalone products, you know, like my Space Gray MacBook and Jet Black iPhone, stuff like that. So I might just leave it up to you guys on Twitter. Drew, you work too hard? Go to bed. No, I don't care. I don't work hard enough. I never work hard enough. Josh Headley, you've asked this question before, but thank you for your donations. Is feet for hands or hands for feet? I feel like hands are more important, so I'm gonna say hands for feet. I could be like a monkey. I could like text with my feet. So I think that's personally more useful. Do you think Apple will drop the Series 1 watch when the Series 3 comes out? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm curious if like the Series 3 will just be more expensive and the Series 2 will cost the same amount. I don't know. I would like the Series 2 to slide down in price and become the new Series 1 price point so that you can get a Series 2 like this for like $250. I think that would be really great, but I'm not sure if they'll do that. It'd be nice for them to keep the Series 1 around. Why not? Make the Series 1 like $200. That would be a Fitbit killer easily. I've been a fan for so long, and I'm also a huge Apple sheep, and I have a friend who's Apple's top lawyer. That's impressive. I kind of feel like Apple's top lawyer personally. Do you have a day job? This is it. I work on YouTube full-time. I've been doing that since June. I quit my job at the end of May to do YouTube full-time. You guys have been keeping me afloat. Thank you for watching. It's been helping. Is there lag? I don't see lag. There's no lag on my end. It still says we're good. You need to check your old videos? Why do I need to check them? I get they're old. They're probably outdated and my opinions have definitely changed. But yeah, see, people saying no lag. Just refresh. Lag can be on your end too, guys. Keep in mind, you may have internet that does not support live streaming. And yeah, believe me, there is not a better live streaming setup we can do. I've tried all of them. What were you doing before YouTube? I was working at a mandarin ranch. Just kind of doing everything my boss needed me to. I could work the tractor, learn how to use the tractor, learn how to use a forklifter. Sometimes I'd split wood, sometimes I'd stack wood, sometimes I would be painting houses. He owns lots of rentals. Sometimes I would be suckering trees. Sometimes I would be digging ditches. A lot of times I would help him early in the morning at like 5 in the morning to go on deliveries. We would deliver fruits to schools. He had like a membership with the school district, and he would deliver fruit to every single school, and I would help him on that, help him know where to go and stuff like that. I would help him with his phone and the techie side. He's a bit of an older guy, but yeah, don't work there anymore, but I kind of miss working there. I'm tired about hearing about the iPhone 8. Yeah, me too. That's why I'm not talking about it. You may have noticed that. Lots of channels have been making iPhone 8 videos almost every other day. And finally, I've just put my foot down and said, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to hold off on making iPhone 8 videos. I might make one or two right before the keynote happens, but I'm just trying to get people's hype lower and try to get you excited about other things. That's all I'm trying to do. That's why I'm not talking about it. I'll talk about it on here, of course, because it's a live stream. Do you think the Note 8 back in the pictures looks ugly? Yeah, you know, it's entirely an aesthetic thing. Some people think it looks good. Some people think it looks ugly. I personally don't like it. I think that black bar on the top of the Note 8 leaks is a little messy. To have two cameras, a fingerprint reader, and the flash and everything, it's a little complicated, I think, personally. Do you think tablets are dying? I used to, but Apple's turned that around, because iPads have finally had an increase in sales as of last quarter. Because of the 2017 iPad and the iPad Pro sales. So they've finally got people interested in tablets again. So I used to think they were dying, but I think Apple is saving them. Why is your most popular video the Apple Pencil? I have no idea. Before that, my most popular video was like something I made 2 years ago about Amazon Prime. I don't understand that. But randomly, certain weird videos will just get super popular. I don't get it. Josh Headley says, thumbs for toes or toes for thumbs? Ooh. No, I wouldn't want a toe for thumb. That'd be a lot shorter. It'd look really creepy, but I'll take thumbs for toes. This is weird. Veneer DGI Phantom says, please go to my latest video on my YouTube channel. It's a tech-related song. I made lyrics and my friend sang. This is the only first verse because it is still a work in progress. Please play the audio to the live stream. Okay, I'm not gonna... Depends on how long this is. If it's a 3-minute song, I won't probably play the whole thing. The 15-inch MacBook Pro song prototype, huh? Why did you delete your old tech videos? I didn't delete them. I privatized them. Maybe someday I'll unprivatize them. But no, I didn't. I definitely didn't delete. I don't delete videos. All my older videos are still there. I just privatize them. If you don't know how to donate, you got to use Safari. Just leave the YouTube app. Use Safari. If you're on a desktop, it should be built in. Find the live stream on your browser. Okay, let me mute myself really quick. I'm going to listen to some of this. I don't think I want to listen to all of it. And give me a copyright strike. Can barely hear it. Here we go. Oh boy. There's a lot of bells and whistles in this song. This is a... That's a good beat. And copyright. There you go. You guys should check that out. I'm not going to play the whole thing because I don't want to lose people. You were watching Tailosive Gaming live? Cool. Well, thank you. That's a real song. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to get copyright. What do you think about the possibility of a Surface Studio 2? I've never tried the first one, but it runs Windows, and I know I won't like that. I would like to mess with one, though. If someone sent me one, I'd love to review it. Is it a good idea to buy the Tesla Model X? Yes. You will not regret that. Definitely do that. Why don't you do iPhone comparisons? Because there's typically not much I can say on the matter. Usually it's like, get the newer one. I like the newer one. So, when it comes to comparisons, it's, I don't know. I don't have enough to talk about, typically. I like to make videos that are a little on the edge, a little controversial, that go back and forth and stuff like that. But if you want to listen to that whole song, definitely check out that Vunier DJI Phantoms channel. Who only had one view. I was the second view on that video. True Apple Sheep, read this live. See? Just read it live. Why is Minecraft on your Apple TV? I thought you didn't play it. We're starting to again. I didn't play it, but now because I want to get Tailosive Gaming back up and running, we're getting games up on here. We're getting we have a controller for the Apple TV now. All of that stuff. How has the iPhone 5S held up? No, I don't have one. Because this is an iPhone 5. And this is an 8. Or an edition. Or whatever you want to call it. And what's going on? We back? What happened? Sorry about that. I haven't had that happen in a long time. What's going on? YouTube is bugging. Whose fault is that now? Now what's going on? Case reviews? I don't really like cases, to be honest. Refresh. Hold on, everyone. Everyone refresh. Well then. Press F to pay respect. Oh, he's back. Stream crash. Yeah, why did it crash? Is it still going? It says it's going now. Darn. I don't know what happened. I've never had that. We were live streaming just fine, and then it just said, nope, I'm going to stop now. It says that we're back. Okay, we're back. Cool. I think we're up and running now. The chat's catching up. Cool. Yeah, that was weird. You missed the best parts. The song also sang about quad cores, Ice Evan, Phil Schiller, Johnny Ive, thermal cooling system, and everything. I appreciate that, Veneer. Thank you for your donation, but with all due respect, people watch the stream so I can interact with the chat, and if I spend the whole time listening to whatever people want me to listen to, we'll never get to talk about anything. So please, you guys, open up his channel in a different tab so you guys can watch it. I'll watch it later, but for now I'm gonna keep to the chat. I don't want to just ignore all of you. I'm from the Live on the Gaming. Yes, you are, Roblox. When do you think iOS will end in the future? Probably if Apple ever figures out a good way to like merge all of the operating systems at the same time. But that's a long ways away. How do you feel about Garmin watch? I haven't tried one. I know of some people with them who like them, but I personally think they look a bit too bulky. They're not going to make me want to switch away from my Apple Watch. I know that much. Why do you hate Google? Well, you know why I'm an Apple sheep. It's because I found a very sophisticated system that works for me with the Apple ecosystem, and it cannot be paralleled elsewhere, just to be honest. There's not some other alternative that can do everything the Apple ecosystem is doing for me. I can't replicate that. Doesn't it look very crispy? Do you like Nintendo Switch? Okay, I'm not a gamer for the most part. I know I'm trying to do the gaming channel, but I'm trying to get kind of like my friends into that, and I mainly use it as a different way to interact with my audience. You know, I don't edit the gaming videos. It's mostly just live streams. But I don't have a childhood of being a fan of Nintendo, so that's kind of a big reason why I'm not interested in the Nintendo Switch, because I think that's the primary reason people buy it, is because they're Nintendo loyalists. Because it's not graphically or technically a superior console to the other two. It can do two things, but I don't think it's good at either of them. It's like a spork, you know. Jack of all trades, master of none. That's how I look at the Nintendo Switch. But I'm not in love with Zelda. I'm not in love with Mario or things like that. I don't see the point of the Switch. I'd rather have a machine that's really good at playing games rather than a machine that's okay at playing games but can do them with a TV or on the go. I don't see the point. How odd does it feel when live streaming to talk and get no audible response? Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, earlier, like when the phone crashed, like all the chat stopped. It confused me. Can you fast charge the iPad Pro 10.5 inch with 29 watt adapter and USB-C to Lightning cable? Yes, you can. You can fast charge them. I do not do that because the adapter itself costs like $30, and I don't see the point. My iPad Pro charges fast enough. I don't need it to charge faster. It's totally fine like that. Why are all your live streams in 480p? It gets to me sometimes. Look, guys, I don't choose to be in 480p. If it could do 1080, I would, but obviously it doesn't work. I've tried many times to up the resolution. This is the best we can do. I've tried to live stream with OBS, doesn't look good. I've tried to live stream with different services. I've tried to boot camp it to Windows to see how OBS works on there. Just, I can't get it to work. This is the best possible scenario for Tailosive Tech live streams. Believe me, I've tried them all. I think PewDiePie live streams in 360p. So there you go. Are you going to buy the Note 8? I would like to review it, but again, it'll all depend on the success of this channel. I don't know if I'll have the spare money to review it, but I would really, really like to. Because I really like the Note 7, but you know what? You all know what happened to that. It exploded. But I'd like for the Note 8 to be a success, and I'd like to see how it improves on the Samsung the Samsung lineup. And I like the fact that they're finally switching to two cameras. I like that the display isn't quite as curved as the S8. So I'm curious. This again? What's wrong? I hope you and your channel gets really successful. Thank you, me too. I'm gonna enslave myself to my job, basically. I have been. I can't wait for your Pixel 2 rant video. Oh yeah, there's a whole nother project coming. That's not even related to Project Photon, but that's a big deal. How good is the Pro Motion on the iPad Pro? I think it's pretty worth it. Is there lag? There's nothing I can do about it. I'm sorry if there is. I can't tell Verizon to be faster. In your main videos, what do you use for the camera? Oh, okay. So in my main channel videos, I use... Oh, it's over. I forgot where it was. 1 second. It's back here. 1 second. The Lumix FZ1000, which is a little bit of a bulkier version of the FZ300 that I film my tech videos with. It has an actual ring for focusing, whereas the other one is just a touch screen. There's no ring you move for focusing on. And the 4K video on this looks slightly better than the FZ300, but 1080p at 60, they both look exactly the same. So that's why I use this for the 4K Saturday shorts on the main channel, just called Tailosive with the black T in the profile picture. And I use the 1080p at 60 frames a second camera, the FC300 for the tech videos. So that's what I use. Pretty much same camera, pretty similar. Hopefully, if MKBHD agreed to collab on a video with you, what thing or topic would the two of you collab on? I would collab on probably mostly Pixel questions, like why he likes the Pixel so much, and probably just big picture stuff like Apple ecosystem, why he doesn't like the Apple Watch would probably be a big topic, but again, he's way too big to want to collab with someone like me. That probably will not happen. What is the best 4K capable DSLR in your opinion? Where do you draw the line on DSLR? I bet I'd like a GH5. That's my next camera purchase. I want to get a GH5 because you can do 4K at 60. I hope that happens. Show your iPhone 8 model? I did. It's right here. We'll talk about that later. We'll get to it eventually. Should I buy AirPods or Beats X? I don't know. Some fan just sent me Beats X headphones, which I'm very much looking forward to reviewing later. But I haven't unboxed them yet. I want to film the unboxing later on. I do not like blush gold, no, to be honest. But keep in mind, that's not Apple's blush gold. One person from China said, I think that Apple might release a copper color. And then a Chinese mock-up company invented the blush gold look. And now we're all judging blush gold based on that Chinese mock-up. That's not necessarily what it's going to be. That's just one interpretation. So don't decide which color you're going to get until the keynote happens. Then you can change your mind. My favorite Apple product is likely the iPhone. That's kind of just the core use of everything. I use my iPhone more than everything else. I'm sure the next iPhone will probably be my favorite one, ever. Please do an iOS versus Android with Linus Tech Tips when you're big enough. Nah, he wouldn't agree to that. He probably wouldn't want to collab with me. But I'd like to collab with people like that anyway, just to debate. I like debating and arguing like that. Teeny Ash says, can you give me a shout out, please? There you go, Teeny Ash. What if Apple bought YouTube? They wouldn't. Google knows they have a gold mine with YouTube. They're never going to sell it. Even if someone offered them $100 billion, they would never sell it. They make way too much money off of YouTube. It's far... You know, every time you guys send a super chat, YouTube gets a piece of that. Imagine how much money they make on the super chat alone. How much would I be losing if I went with the 7 over the 7 Plus, and is it worth it? I personally think it's worth it for the camera alone, so that's probably the main thing you're losing is the battery life and the camera. And I think that camera's amazing. I think it's one of the best parts about this iPhone 7. So I recommend getting 7S Plus, but like I said, do not buy an iPhone 7 right now. You want to get the 7S or 7S Plus when those come out because they'll be the same price, or the Edition if you want that, or if you don't want any of those, the current iPhone 7 will be cheaper next month. So just wait a little bit longer. Ash Film says, hey Drew, I was wondering if we could Skype and have a discussion on Apple. If you can, that would be awesome. I really enjoy your videos. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for your donation. It's very difficult for me to kind of set aside time to Skype because that's a very high in demand thing. I have lines and lines of people who would like to have one-on-one conversations with me. So very sorry if that doesn't happen very often, but really the best way you want to contact me if you want to have one-on-one discussions is likely Twitter or Patreon. Like if you're a donor on Patreon, you can get through to me pretty quickly. But it's very hard for anyone really, even if you donate $500 like some of you have. It's very difficult to find dedicated time where I am free and I can just have a one-on-one conversation with you. I thought when I started this channel that I would have time for that. That's why I made Patreon perks that would allow me to do that. But I quickly realized that as my job got more and more busy, it became very difficult to have dedicated time for that. So it's hard for me to promise. I would love to. It's just a time thing. I apologize. But yeah, like I said, Patreon, Twitter, tag me on Twitter if you want to have conversations like that. That's probably the best way to do it. Do you make your own thumbnails? I do. I've been, for the last couple days, been editing my own tech videos. Whoa, really? Because Nathan Cooper, my editor, was doing a movie premiere for his film studio, so he was very, very busy. So I said, take a few days off. I'll work on the tech videos. So the last couple have been done by me instead. But more recently, like today's video I filmed is going to be edited by it's going to be edited by Nathan, not me. He's back on schedule. He should be able to edit them now and finish them himself. And I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm getting tired and I'm losing track of what's going on in my conversation pieces. I do have one pet. I have a cat. Vunir DGI Phantom, once again, thank you for being so generous today. Says, I'd like to collab/Skype with you sometime. Note, I know a lot about tech and I'd love to talk to you. Please don't disrespect me because I'm only 14. I don't want to disrespect anyone because of their age or anything. I'm grateful for all of you guys super chatting. But like I just explained, you should pay Nathan and gum. No, that'd be mean. Like I explained to Ash Films, I would love to do that. It's just I can't make time in the day for it. I didn't get to see my girlfriend today. That's how busy I was. So, I want to see her. I want to visit her. So, it's great that I have fans out there who are willing to pay money to collab or to Skype call or just talk. But like I said, it's very difficult to find time. Life is so busy. Like tomorrow I still have to mow lawns around my house and other people's houses, family, relatives. Also make time for the main channel, the Talks channel, all of that stuff. It's not easy to find time to just talk one-on-one with fans. But like I said, if you have questions, the best thing to do is tag me on Twitter and ask about them, or become a Patreon donor and ask questions there. That's the most effective way to do it. It's very difficult for me to find time to Skype. Ash Film says, dye your hair jet black? Oh no. People would kill me. People love my red hair. But thank you for a donation. But with all due respect, I don't think so. I think people like my hair the way it is. I have a lot of roles in the future because I write a lot of movie scripts that I can't make yet, but I plan on making someday. I have a lot of roles in the future in which I would like to play a character that has black hair. So you may see that someday. But why is your hair red? I was born this way. I don't know. I've never dyed it. Real red never goes back red after coloring. Ooh, that'd be scary, says DJ. I want to keep this hair. I like it the way it is. I may not be an Apple sheep, but I really like this channel. That's cool. I've heard a lot of people say that they're not Apple sheep, but they still watch my videos. I don't get that, but well, I do kind of get it. I watch Red Letter Media, and they really hate on Star Wars, even though I really like Star Wars. They don't, but I still watch their content because it's funny. I like it. Do you think Apple should buy SoundCloud? I don't see the point. They have Apple Music. SoundCloud seems like something that's just kind of dying off. It's not doing terribly well. I've just heard that. I don't know the specifics of it. I haven't been following it. I think SoundCloud made a pretty cool app, but I think they're getting over the top with the asking people to subscribe to SoundCloud Go for the subscription service. They get over the top. Who is the cat? I have a cat named Pickle. If you want to see him, he's on the Tailosive Talks channel all the time. Obi says, you never reply to Twitter mentions. I do. Just because I don't reply to every single one doesn't mean I don't reply to any of them. I try. Okay, guys? Look, you gotta cut me some slack. You know, you don't always subscribe to tech channels that upload videos every single day, and most of the tech channels you're watching are not making content across 4 different channels. They're focusing on their one, and I'm trying to activate 4, and I'm also trying to have a lifestyle at the same time, and I'm also working on top secret stuff. So to ask that because you would like to have a one-on-one conversation with me, please understand, I would love to, but I don't get to do the things I want to do in the day. So it's very difficult when people show up and try to start saying, make more time for me, more time for me. Time is extremely valuable right now. Okay, so it's very, very difficult for me to respond to every Twitter mention, or I get the comments in the live stream, you never answered me. Like, there's 177 people right now. That is a large crowd. You got to admit, it's a little bit unreasonable for you to expect an interaction with every single fan. And as the channel grows bigger, that's just going to get more and more complicated. I'm sorry I can't answer all of you. I wish I could. I wish there were 80 hours in a day, but there's 24, and I'm doing the best I can. I want to be asleep right now, but I'm doing this as an interaction, as a favor for you guys. I don't care about my sleep. Okay. You're the reason why I switched back to Apple. When I was deciding to get a book or a Pro, I couldn't decide. Speaking of which, well, I'm glad I could help you decide. That's kind of the important thing I've noticed about this tech channel, is that it helps me realize that, you know, how we spend our money on technology is really important, because this stuff is expensive and so much of our life depends on it. This is like a big deal. Like what you spend $800 to $5,000 on is kind of a big important thing. So I do kind of start to understand that this is more than just arguing about holes in a smartphone. It's more than just arguing about personal preference on Android or personal preference on iOS. It's about how we invest in our technology. I do think that's important. I switched over because Microsoft bricked my machine with Windows 10. Memorifile, I've been there. I've had so many friends who have definitely, they upgraded to Windows 10 thinking it would help their computer, and it canceled out so many of their programs, made it so they couldn't play a lot of their games. That happened a lot. Even me, when I had a gaming PC, Windows 10 came out when I still had it, and now my Adobe editing app stopped working. So definitely Windows 10 had that effect on people. When will USB-C come to the iPhone? Personally, Mark, I don't think ever, because I think the reason they're keeping Lightning is they think they're close enough to switching to portless entirely. They want to switch to complete wireless charging. And that's why they're not switching to USB-C. They're going to keep Lightning for now. It's probably easier to waterproof, as well as we all have Lightning cables already. They're pushing Lightning on, you know, the Apple TVs, the SteelSeries controller charges with Lightning, Apple Pencil, AirPods. So taking it off the iPhone is more than just taking it off the iPhone. You're changing a lot of the Apple ecosystem. What percent does YouTube take off Super Chats? Asks Obi. I don't know specifically, because they don't tell you. You don't see, whenever someone Super Chats, it just goes directly into your Google AdSense account, so you don't get to see every single donation and how much you get out of it. It's probably something like 1% or something, 1% of every donation. I don't know exactly what it is. I appreciate optimization, but I wish iOS High Sierra was a little more interested, says Walter Perkins. Well, the thing, you know, I've noticed about whenever Apple wants to update macOS is all the macOS users get all upset that things are changing. Typically, for some reason, I guess, desktop and laptop users don't like their OS to change very much. Whenever we hear update, they all go, "Oh no, now they've ruined everything." Like, people really got upset when they did Yosemite, which was a huge design refresh, changed the entire look of the OS, which we still have to thank for Yosemite today. But then people all got upset. It's like, "Oh, this looks complicated. Oh, it looks too weird. I don't like the new design." So I think that reaction to when Mac OS changes design so much is the reason all of the more recent Mac OS updates have been mostly internal. It's like, we just want to make your computer work a little faster. That's all we're going to focus on. We're not going to focus on changing the look of everything. We just want to make sure your computer does better than it did before. I think that's why they're a bit more touchy about that. I'm using High Sierra right now. Freed up a bunch of storage on my machine. That was nice. But yeah, for the most part, it's not a major update. You're right. They didn't change very much. But I think that's intentional. I don't think they are leaving out features because they're out of ideas. I think they know that people who like their Macs and like their iMac, they don't want their OS to change that drastically. What were you doing before YouTube? Oh man, I've been doing YouTube since I was in elementary school. Before that, I wanted to be in the Air Force, but then I realized that being in the Air Force would likely mean controlling a drone thousands of miles away, and decided I wasn't interested in it. It just wasn't for me. I decided I want to be a bit more creative rather than just be physically challenged. Like, I work really hard in the military. Obviously, it's a very physical exercise and mental exercise. I have lots of friends who have joined the military, so I know all about that. But Like as a job before YouTube? Oh, I worked at a mansion ranch. But I've been doing YouTube as a hobby since 2008. So it's been a long, long time. I didn't do Tailosive until 2010. But there were 2 years of just me fooling around with friends. But it wasn't like YouTube was an original first job. I did YouTube for, 6-7 years before it started to even pay me. I don't like talking about how much I earn because I don't want people start to assume or tell me how to spend my money, because I know that will happen. If I tell people exactly how much money I make in a month, they'll say like, oh, you can't afford to review the Note 8, or why can't you review the Google Pixel? You make this much a month. I don't want people telling me how I spend my money. And I think that's okay. I don't think it's rude to say I don't want to tell you how much I make. All I can say is it's not a terrible amount. It's enough to live off of, and it's enough to afford the products I want to review on this channel, but I'm not driving a Bugatti. I'm living in an attic. It's terribly hot in here. I can't afford better internet, so it's not the high life for sure, but it's enough. I'm making enough. Blue Frisky says, wanted to say we love you and appreciate your hard work. This small contribution is on behalf of me and those who want to give but cannot. Thank you, Blue Frisky. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Would you ever consider to review older special Apple devices? I have considered it. In fact, I've even done it in the past. The thing is, it just doesn't statistically do well, and I personally don't enjoy really reviewing old stuff, because to me the point of a review and the point of this tech channel is to figure out what's the best way to spend your money. I don't really feel the need to be a tech museum, even though I have old stuff in the back, but reviewing it is like, well, obviously don't buy this, but it exists. I have 2 Apple Newtons, which was like a dark age for Apple, but I've thought about reviewing them, but honestly, what's the point? It's like, you're not going to buy this. It would just, that's when the channel becomes more documentary and less buyer's guide. And I want to kind of have a tech channel that's more about being a guide for people on how to spend their money effectively. That's why I encourage people to buy so much Apple products, is because I think that is a safe bet and it's reliable and you'll be happy with it, even if it is more money. So that's what I prefer to be, rather than just telling people these old things exist and sometimes they still work and hey, it has a headphone jack, old things like that. I'm not as interested in that. Any plans for set renovation? There is, actually. I have a lot of intentions. Well, for those who don't know, because most of my audience was getting this year, every year I like to redesign the Tailosive network. Just give it a nice little design refresh overall at the end of this year. So like right January 1st, 2018, you'll see new intros, you'll see new animations, hopefully new setups. But yes, I do intend on kind of redesigning the setup I have for my tech videos. Hopefully. I really hope so. Again, it costs a lot of money though. 7S to have most of the same features as the 8 Pro besides the new design and Face ID. Well, depends on features. I don't think features is the right word. The 7S is rumored to have similar design to the iPhone 7, almost exactly, but a little bit thicker. But the glass back for wireless charging, I guess it has that. It'll probably have an improved camera. I'm pretty sure they'll have the A11 chip with better battery life. So internally, yeah, but they'll obviously keep the same screen to bezel form factor. And I can almost predict how that Keynote is going to go. I'm anticipating the Apple Keynote is going to go, what's it going to be? They're going to talk about the 4K Apple TV first at the beginning. They're going to be like, we love the Apple TV, but we're going to make it even better. It's going to say, oh, there's 4K support, and it has an A10X chip. Now you can get it in 128 gigabytes. We made this version of the Apple TV cheaper. And after the Apple TV, they're going to start talking about the Apple Watch Series 3, going to talk about the new cellular support, show off the new smart functioning bands with glucose monitoring, stuff like that. And then, like an hour into the keynote now, they'll announce the iPhone 7S and show how cool that is. And then alongside it, the 7S Plus. See, they're going to really drag it out here, okay? They're going to stretch this out as far as they can go. But we don't know when the event is, but it's likely going to be next month on a Tuesday, typically a mid-Tuesday. The second or third week of September on a Tuesday is typically what it is. That's what I'm guessing. So after they show off the 7S and 7S Plus, they're going to say, like, oh, we switched to glass backs. It's really strong glass. They wirelessly charge now. They got a better processor, better battery, better cameras, and all that. And then they'll wrap it up and say, so this has been an amazing keynote full of great stuff. But, of course, we have one more thing, and that's when they'll tell you about Face ID and the Edition and show off this guy in all of its glory with the OLED screen and the bigger power button and all that. That's how I think the order of things will go. That's my bet. You can hold me to that. Yeah, it's like a formula. I just know that Apple, if they have something that they know everyone is interested in, they'll typically announce that last. So I'm anticipating that the iPhone edition will be the, what do you call it, the one last thing. They'll save that for the end. And everyone during the live stream while I'm reacting to it is going to be saying, boring, get to the iPhone, boring, lame, this is lame. It's going to happen. Of course, it's going to happen. I'm using Lightning headphones on an iPad. Good, Chats with K. I did the same thing. I didn't have an iPhone 7, but I bought Lightning headphones as soon as they were available. You just revealed the whole plan? Yeah, I know. I did. We know how everything goes. I've watched enough Apple keynotes in my life. I've been watching them since I remember the first Apple keynote I ever watched. I stayed home from school because I was sick, to watch Steve Jobs unveil this. That was like the first thing I watched at an Apple keynote. Was the introduction of the iPod Nano 6. I thought that was the coolest thing. That was like the first keynote I've watched, and I've been watching every keynote ever since. I've seen them all. Most of them live. Does the old Apple computer behind you still work? It would be cool for you to do a video powering it up and using it. Sadly, that one doesn't work. My childhood was all over that thing. I used that thing as a kid all the time. The smaller beige Macintosh in the background of my video does still work. We can still plug that in. It's from the 80s, but it still turns on. It still boots up when you press power. And my dad has one in his classroom. My dad is a teacher, and he uses that with his students. They program Legos and stuff like that, and it still works. The kids still use it. It's crazy. Yeah, I used to use it. This was the family computer. They don't want it anymore, so I took it. Can you make a video on the one that works? I have. It's called my Mac collection. It's very old, but I take you through all of the old Macs I still have, and I show you which ones work and which ones don't. It's a very old video, but it's still there. Do you think it's safe for an iPhone battery to charge using the 61-watt MacBook power adapter? I used to not think so, but now I think USB-C adapts charging to whatever it's plugged into, so I think it should be fine. Blue Frisky says, do you think the need for glasses will hold AR back? That's an interesting question. Do you think the need for glasses will hold AR back? No. I think people will start wearing AR glasses even if they're not glasses wearers. I've never worn glasses in my life. I typically don't even like wearing sunglasses because they kind of give me a headache. But I think people, when they start seeing the potentials of augmented reality glasses, will start wearing them anyway, just for the 3D features you'll get out of them. So that's what I think. That's what I'm anticipating. I don't think it'll hold AR back. What's holding AR back right now is they can't make it small enough and comfortable enough so that it's still aesthetically pleasing to wear. Like, I've said this many times, but I'll show it to you guys. If they can make Apple glasses look basically something like this. Very, very simple. There's a little bit of customization. This can be Apple Glass Sport Edition. Just kind of the blue brackets. You can choose what color you want. You can choose yellow or red, or I don't care. And they're about this light, maybe a little bit more heavier duty, made of metal, not plastic. They'd be a bit more premium, but if they could look like this, these are just my girlfriend's glasses she'd let me borrow. That's when Apple would be okay with releasing the product. Right now, Apple AR glasses, I'm sure the prototypes are huge, uncomfortable to wear, and they're just focusing on the software, and then they're assuming that in years' time, they'll be able to make the hardware itself smaller and make it into something comfortable like this that's easy to charge, easy to set up. So that's why I think we're not seeing Apple release AR glasses yet. They just need to get smaller, more comfortable. Let's see. I like to know how do you actually use the Apple Watch? Daily. That's how I use it. Yo, what is your video storage hard drive archive setup? Okay, so because I could barely afford this MacBook Pro when I bought it, like I was intending on buying the 13-inch MacBook Pro, and then at the last second I decided to go all out with the 15-inch because I wanted the dedicated GPU. That's the reason this was 256 gigabytes. It's a very small storage configuration that I have to empty out onto an external hard drive very often, but for the most part it works okay. I fill it up just about every other day though, so that gets annoying. But I have a portable hard drive that I offload all the footage onto that's a terabyte, and then separate from that I have Western Digital books that aren't portable. I have all the hard drives I've ever bought in my life. The first one I bought was a terabyte, and that was when I was like in the 5th grade. Then after that I got a 2 terabyte one that I still have, it's all full. After that I got a 4 terabyte one that I'm just about filled up with. It's just about top to the brim. And then more recently, about a month ago, I got an 8 terabyte hard drive. So that's my new one. I just started filling up the 8 terabyte one. Like today, I spent a lot of my morning offloading all of the footage from my terabyte Porsche hard drive onto the 8 terabyte Western Digital book for just kind of deep storage. But yeah, in my 5K iMac, I'll just get the terabyte one. I'm getting the cheapest possible iMac Pro if I can afford it. Like I said, iMac Pro is not a guaranteed thing. I'm not promising that that'll happen. You really should back up your stuff. I am. I'm pushing it all onto other hard drives. Knox asked, Tailosive, can you do Windows Phone leaks and rumors? Well, if I heard about Windows Phone leaks and rumors, I would, but I haven't heard any. I've heard there might be one with a, what do you call it? A kickstand. Whoa, revolutionary. Hello again. I left just after you started playing Into the Dead. What did I miss? Oh, Ben Close was watching the Tailosive Gaming live stream. For those who don't know, Tailosive Gaming is back. We're doing 2 live streams a week now, and we're less than 40 subscribers away from 1,000. Can we get there? We're so close, guys. Get us there. What happens if the hard drive dies? Then, well, you lose the footage. If I back up the footage, then those hard drives can die too. Nothing is ever permanently safe. My whole house can burn down. That almost happened a couple months ago with the wall fire. Are you going to watch the solar eclipse? I'll probably walk outside for it. I'm not going to travel anywhere for it. I think people are overhyping it. I've seen partial eclipses before, and it's just like, whoa, it gets dark outside, and then it's over in like 2 minutes. So I think it's going to be not as big a deal as people think it is. It sounds like something I would be very disappointed by. That's why I'm not getting overly hyped about it. Maybe if it is really cool and I am impressed by it, I'll be decently surprised. Would you quit YouTube if Apple gave you a job? I feel like I am working for Apple. I just feel like they should be paying me. What would my job be, though? I don't really have anything to offer to Apple other than what I'm doing right now. Is theorizing on future releases and telling people when and when not to buy products. I don't know what I would do at Apple. I don't have a degree. I'm a college dropout, so I don't think they would hire me or do anything. Partial eclipses are fairly lame, agreed. If you can see the totality of it, then it'd be amazing. No, I still don't think, just having it get dark outside for a little while is not that impressive to me. It's just for 2 minutes it gets dark. Because it's just the shade of the shadow of the moon going by. That's not amazing to me. It's cool that it happens, but there's people I know that are like traveling thousands of miles to go see it or go to the optimum places. I'm not gonna do that. I have a deck. I'll just like go walk out on the deck. It's way more than just darkness, and it will burn your eyes right out of your soul. Okay, then I'm not gonna look at it. I'm just saying I'm not terribly excited for it. I don't think it's gonna change my life. Should the iPad Pro get a 1 terabyte option? Oh, I don't know. I'm not even close to filling up my 512 gig option. That is insane. No, that's too much. Let's wait. Let's wait. If the next iPhone has 4K at 60, maybe Apple should start working on putting terabytes into iOS devices. But for the most part, nah. Tailosive, where do you work and what did you major in? I work for YouTube full time. Quit my job in May, and I majored in business with a minor in film, but I hated all the classes so much I dropped out. I just did a Hello World episode today on Tailosive Talks about my history and education and why I'm a dropout and why I don't like school that much. People are telling me it's really good, so apparently it's good. So you should subscribe to Tailosive Talks if you want to hear more about my personal life. MacBook Pro versus Chromebook? Come on. You know the answer to that. People who use Chromebooks know the answer to that. If the iPhone have 4K at 60, they will need a 512 gigabyte iPhone. Not if they start encoding in H.265, because that's kind of one of the big things they're pushing with iOS 11, is that they made this new recording format that is significantly less storage but retains the same quality. I think maybe that's how they were able to figure out 4K at 60. They could make the files significantly smaller. That's just one theory. I do agree, I think storage configuration should be high as possible. I just don't think you should count on storage being 512 gig. I think it's most likely going to be a 64 or 256 option. Those are going to be your two options. My main camera is a Lumix FZ300. It's back there. Pencil versus Apple Pencil. Ooh, that'd be tricky. You know what'd be funny? You know how Apple Pencils have the tip that could screw off? Like the little stylus part that touches the screen? What if you could put a lead Apple Pencil tip on? So now you could use your Apple Pencil as a real pencil. I thought that would be cool. Why does no one do that? What age did you quit college? I was 18. I was 18. Not that long ago. No, maybe I was 17. Okay, no. No, I was definitely 18. What would you want Apple to make a Mac focused towards... Would you want a Mac to make a Mac focused towards gaming? They do. They're making Macs that can do VR now. You know, what would be the point of a Mac that's just focused towards gaming is just it would have good specs. That's the iMac Pro. There you go. They're already doing that. Can you please show us your viewer demographic percentages? Well, ironically, they're all on my phone, which is what I'm live streaming with, so it'd be kind of hard to show you. Would you like Apple to make an Apple Ring? I've seen that concept multiple times, but I have no idea what it would do. I don't get it. Okay, guys, it's getting pretty late, and I'm getting very, very tired, and I'm sure I'm boring you because my eyes are droopy and I'm not as lively. But so if you have any last donations, last big questions, now is the time to answer them. I'm going to be wrapping it up here pretty quick. Okay. Should I get a Mac Mini or wait for the refresh happening in the future, according to Craig Vitoriki? I can't recommend Mac Minis. I think they're getting too old. They're a nice, cheap little desktop, but for the most part, I don't see Apple continuing them anytime soon. So, I recommend just kind of saving up your money. I don't think people should buy Mac Minis right now. They haven't upgraded them in a long time. We don't know when they're going to upgrade them, so it's kind of a sketchy, like, can I buy it? Or, like you said, in the future. So, I'm just going to recommend not buying them, saving up your money for something like a MacBook or a good iMac. Why don't you take tan, bro? I don't know what that is. I don't take tan. I'm a ginger. I just sunburn. I don't tan. What will be the lineup of Apple Watches in September? Okay, I just read the report that there will be non-LTE Apple Watches and LTE Apple Watches, so there will be both. And I don't know what the edition will be. I'm curious. Yeah, I don't know. The lineup will probably be a lot more diverse, though, because we'll have Apple Watches that have cellular support now. So everything gets doubled, basically. There's now 2 versions of everything. Touch ID dongle? No, come on. AirPods or Apple Watch? Yeah, I keep seeing people say maybe it's titanium, but that wouldn't look that different. A titanium Apple Watch would basically look like this. Okay, that's a close one because I really love AirPods and I really love Apple Watch. The answer is both. The Apple Watch is pretty useful. I think I'd say Apple Watch. I want a product red Apple Watch to come. There's no leaks of that, but I would really like a product red one. Do you agree that Apple should discontinue the Apple TV? No. The Apple TV is just getting started. I think they're about to update it. Polar opposite. Any iPad Air 2 recommended accessories? I just have a smart cover and an Apple Pencil, but don't get that. It won't work. 7S with Apple Watch 3 or only iPhone 8? Okay, look. The reason I'm getting the iPhone 8 is because it's so overhyped. I'm doing it for my job. If tech reviews were not my job, I would get any phone this year. I would keep my 7 for another year. So yeah, I would recommend, if you're just a consumer, you don't care about bezels, you don't care about making sure that your phone has an edge-to-edge screen and everything, yeah, sure, get a 7S and an Apple Watch 3. It's probably a better combo than just an iPhone. Is the Tailosive unboxing vid coming tomorrow? Yes. Hank Hill, your product will be unboxed. Today's P.O. Box loot was insane. Today's packages that I got in the P.O. Box were crazy. They had to put all of the packages I got from my P.O. Box in like 2 different bins. Like, they couldn't fit all of my mail in the P.O. Box. That's how many places it was all scattered across. And it was all great stuff. I had, like, a crazy amount of value. I got a projector. I got the iPhone dummy. And I got the Beats X headphones. And I got South Carolina or North Carolina Coca-Cola from Hank Hill. For those of you who don't know, you guys can send me anything you want, and I'll unbox it on Tailosive Unboxed. I'll just remind everyone the address to send it to. If you want me to review anything, smartphones, any cases, accessories, anything like that, Xboxes, I don't care. There's the address if you want to send me stuff. Why do you hate Beats? I just think they're not that. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just very expensive, and I don't think they're that great. I love my AirPods, and my AirPods are cheaper than most Beats headphones. So I wouldn't pay extra for Beats headphones because they don't sound that better to me. They sound fine. Did you ever go to the Infinite Loop in Cupertino? No, however, you can get that Apple mug from Apple HQ. I heard you can go to it though. I'd like to visit it sometime. That would be fun. Colin Book says, "How long have you been making videos, please?" Well, technically, me and my dad made videos together when I was like 5, 6, so technically like almost forever. But I started filming and editing my own videos in like the 5th grade, and I didn't really stop. I've pretty much made a video every week of my life since the 5th grade. I can't think of a week I didn't make a video. See, from the 5th grade up till like high school, I was making Saturday shorts on the main channel, Tailosive, like every single Saturday for like 3-4 years straight, and I never missed one. Even on holidays, I would get a Saturday short in. It weren't always good, but I would get it in. So I've been making stuff forever. Never really have stopped. Let's see. Why get an iMac Pro? Get the 2018 Mac Pro, which will be launched alongside a much better display than that giant chin on the bottom you see on the iMac. Update the design, Apple. The reason I don't like that idea, Vunier, and I've heard people say that, is because I don't like buying products that are expensive in pieces. If you're looking at the iMac Pro as an all-in-one, that's $5,000. Whatever next year's Mac Pro is going to be, it's going to be even more, because they're gonna make sure that next year's or 2019's Mac Pro is going to be even more powerful than the iMac Pro, probably $6,000 to $7,000 or whatever, something crazy, and then you'd have to buy a whole monitor separately. I like that you get everything in one package. I like that you get the 5K display, you get the USB-C and the USB on the back, and I don't like the idea of the upgrading computer. I get why people want to go for that because they think they're saving money, but in reality, you really end up having to refresh the entire machine anyway, and Apple's not going to make modular parts of the computer that can be updated cheaply. You know Apple. You know that if you want to replace the GPU 3 years after you bought the computer, it's going to cost you another $2,000. So it's not like you're saving a crap ton of money by not buying an iMac Pro. Plus, it's hard to compare a computer that exists to a computer that doesn't exist. Also, perhaps by the time the Mac Pro, the 2018 or the 2019 Mac Pro comes out, this channel will be big enough and I'll be able to buy that too. Who knows? We've been growing at an incredible rate. Let's keep it going. Alright guys, I'm going to head to bed. I appreciate all of your donations. I'm very, very tired. You should be seeing Refried Friday in just about 7 to 8 hours. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope Nathan had a good time editing it. And I'm sorry if I didn't answer your questions. I apologize that I don't have more time to interact with all of you one-on-one. But I do appreciate the donations. And please check out all check out all the other channels. Tailosive Gaming. We need more subs there. We're close to 1,000. Tailosive Talks to find out more of my personal life. Subscribe to the main channel, Tailosive, to find out what Project Photon is when it comes out. And subscribe to Tailosive Movie Reviews, where my friend Dan is working on movie reviews over there. And I'm occasionally on there. Thank you all for your questions. This is your Apple Sheep here. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a good night.